Hey guys, so here I'm going to show you another way in which to take a really commonly done activity, lunges, and add a little bit of alternating movement with your upper body that's not only going to help aid the way in which you load that leg, it's going to make you steadier, it's going to make you more athletic, but it's also going to help improve your upper body, your upper quarter, mobility, flexibility, and with that, it's also going to really aid your lower quarter mobility. Your hips will be a little bit looser. They'll be a little bit more challenged by doing it this way. So what exactly is it I'm talking about? Well, often when people do lunges, they will hold the arms by their sides, and perhaps they'll do like a walking lunge where hands are here. Perhaps they do a reverse lunge where hands are here. They may even let the hands leave their body and they end up reaching forward to help steady. All that's good and fine, but it's not going to lead to them having more freedom through their full body, and it's certainly not going to allow them to be more athletic in their daily lives. So one variation that's very helpful and very simple for you to throw in is to reach very big with the opposite arm during the movement. So what that looks like is, if you're going to do a reverse lunge and sit into this right leg, left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back, and you sit in. So it looks something like that. This is a big deal because gait, human propulsion, requires an opposite arm and leg to act as to act as propulsion for the body. Just watch somebody try to speed skate or cross-country ski without moving their arms. It doesn't really happen. Now you can certainly see a lot of people running around without moving their arms, but they don't entirely look good or athletic or efficient while they're doing it, but human beings were built to compensate. So by adding that opposite arm and really making the reach very big, you end up shifting your rib cage over that leg, head gets over that leg, your hip internally rotates over that leg, you give the muscles the structures that are centering ideally over that loaded leg and foot leverage. When arms are by your side, they're more spread out. You have to teeter like a mast ship in order to hold yourself steady. And that may be necessary if you're holding a very heavy weight, and certainly if you're loading up with a barbell, which is fine, which is great, which has its use, but that's not going to lead to a person being able to change direction very quickly or well, and certainly will not help them avoid injury like rolling an ankle or spraining a knee. That kind of movement where you're a little bit more stiff, that leads to more injuries, not necessarily avoidance of more injuries. So there is value in an opposite arm. When you're doing that, things to focus on is reach all the way to your fingers. No half effort, all the way to your fingers, and that creates a lot of tone through your arms, and an open, intentional hand, that tends to create a lot of extensor tone. So as you're reaching your body forward, the extensors in your backside are there, they're awake, holding you up. When you reach, that back arm is so helpful how you do it to hold yourself up. So reach far enough so you feel a tricep, and as you reach big, you'll end up feeling a bit of your shoulder blade, lower traps working. That's great. So you can do this with in-place reverse lunges, you can do them walking lunges, you can do it with a return and back lunge. It is a very simple thing that has an enormous carryover to many other parts in your life. So that's with just your free arms. When you load it up, depending on the weight, it may look a little bit different. There's little use in going very heavy when you're doing this sort of thing. So once the weight gets to a significant amount where it's really challenging your legs and you can only do 5-10 reps in each leg tops, well, then you're probably going to want to hold the weight a little bit more by your side, racked up in here, racked like a barbell. this is something different. So this is a movement where you're doing a bit higher reps. It's on a lower load day. Perhaps it's something that you throw in at the end of a workout just to get things moving a little bit more. These are 20s, and I don't ever go heavier than this with this specific movement. As soon as it gets heavier, arms have to be more like hooks. So in the reverse lunge with some weights, it's going to look something like where you get a curl in the front and a kick back with the back arm. Curl in the front, tricep kick back with the rear. And that turning the palm up, turning the palm down, it's a big deal. So tricep curl, tricep curl. From the front, it would look something like curl, tricep, curl, tricep. So that's a way in which you can add a little bit more load. It's going to challenge your upper body in a really enjoyable way. It's going to ask it to shift around, so working a lot of the nooks and crannies a bit more in your midline. Things like this are really helpful for any of you that tend to do a lot of barbell activity and don't want to perhaps take on some sort of training that's going to really tax your system and maybe pull away from your training schedule in that week. So this is a low demand but high reward activity that you can take on. So give it a go. Let me know if you got any questions as you try it out. Regardless, I hope you're well.